Lychee library without get a slicer and a library for only €14.99 instead of €19.99. Enjoy.
Lychee library, eh? I'll take a look. Biff, pow, zap, clunk, clunk, ouchie. Hey guys, if you're a regular, then you'll know that Lychee is my personal favourite slicer, and it has been for a few years now. And in that time, I've seen it grow, expanding to cover not only resin printers, but also FDM, as well as adding many new and cool features to make life easier. So, when I heard that Lychee were adding a model library to their slicer, I was intrigued. But what exactly is this library? Is it any good? And what, if any, are the drawbacks? Before I begin, yes, I know it's pronounced Lychee, but they pronounce it as Lychee, and out of respect for them, I'll do the same. In case you're wondering what a library is, it's simply a collection of models made by various creators that can be downloaded and printed. And these aren't new. Thingiverse has been around for years now, as have many others, like Printables, Cults 3D, My Mini Factory, and more. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with these libraries, and most of us have our personal favourites. And frankly, I can't imagine that is really going to change. However, these libraries do often have a few failings. Many prefer to show you what they want you to see, rather than the information that you actually requested, and that's sometimes pay for downloads rather than free ones. Many are littered with advertising, which can be a little annoying, though we can't begrudge free content from trying to cover costs and earn a little money. But most crucially, we can't always be sure that the models that we download are error-free, and not everyone takes the time to support their prints before uploading. So what are Lychee bringing to this already very well catered for market? Well, it's not free access. We may as well make that point from the off. Their library may well be viewable for free users, but only top package paying customers will be able to access the goodies within. And I think that's a real shame, as I suspect much of this content, if it were found on other sites, would normally be free. Not all of it, but some of it. And I think maybe Lychee should have tiered this library so there's something for everyone, from free users to paying members. And don't believe everything that you read. You obviously won't be gaining access to all creators, just those that have agreed to contribute to Lychee. Now that doesn't mean there aren't some great artists amongst them, because there are, like our old buddy Printed Obsession, but obviously not everyone is here. The library is accessed by clicking this icon within the slicer, and you'll need version 7.0 or older to achieve this. And straight away we find ourselves in a pleasantly attractive environment, which hints at what's available to us. On this left side here, there's a list of categories, and I'm not going to lie, it's not all that extensive, yet. In honesty, clicking on some of these categories is downright disappointing, but we need to remember that this is all still very new, literally just a few days old. And Lychee are promising us regular updates, which in some areas is clearly needed. So much so, in fact, that it quickly becomes obvious that there's a lot of repetition going on. However, some areas like miniatures are already very well populated. There's certainly a number of models here that I'm itching to get my hands on, though as we click between subcategories, the repetition is still fairly obvious. I will say that because these models have been submitted by various artists, there's a lack of uniformity that makes the library feel disjointed. For instance, is this just a pair of legs, or is there more to this model? Now I know that sounds picky, and it's a sin that could easily be forgiven on Thingiverse or Cults 3D. But here, like it or not, you're paying for access, so I would expect things to be perfect. In the same vein, there don't seem to be many listings on a page, and I'm forever clicking these buttons. The option to list more is something that we've seen on websites for years now. But of course, this isn't a website, it's an application, so maybe there are restrictions. Moving on, let's have a go at running some searches and see what the results produce. What shall we look for? Wolverine. Well, that's catered for. There's not a lot of options, but it's here. Hopefully more will come in time. How about Deadpool? That's an obvious follow-on. Well, yes and no. It's not the model I was looking for, but it clearly works, so let's try something else. Cannon. Have I spelt that wrong? This is the sort of cannon I was looking for, but I guess we have to make allowances for people like me that just can't spell. How about this one? Well, that figures. Actually, let me tell you a funny story. A while ago, I saw that Lychee was seeking ambassadors. As someone who has praised them in more than one video, I inquired about it, but I was told they were looking for people that make or paint 3D models. Ah, said I, I've produced a few things over the years and shared them in various libraries. No thanks, they said, we're looking for artists. It's a good job I've never claimed to be an artist, I guess. But there's nothing quite like being put in your place. Anyway, let's get to the crux of what this library is really all about. Convenience. If I select an item, like this one, it gives me a few options that relate to supports. So in other words, this wonderful model is already supported. As I'm lazy, I'll ignore all of these options and just go with the default. Now I'm back in the slicer environment that I'm used to. But hang on, what are these tags? In essence, Lychee is giving us the opportunity to change our mind. But as I don't plan to, clicking them effectively downloads the model from the library to the slicer, giving me the option to move it around the plate as necessary. Let's do the same with the other tags. Now, if I move to the preparation environment, I'm actually able to edit the supports. I can delete them if I wish, though that kind of defeats the object of having pre-supported models. Or I can alter the properties of these, maybe making them thinner or thicker. I can also change the raft or anything else that I would normally be able to amend. And this does separate Lychee from the other libraries, as not only does it give us pre-supported models that they have previously checked, but it also gives us the opportunity to alter things if we'd like to, though I suspect in most cases this won't be necessary. But whether we tinker or not, we can export the model as usual in our trusted slicer, using whatever printer we like. And of course, we can do this with every single model that we find within the library, safe in the knowledge that these have been checked over by diligent Lychee staff. Well, okay, not all of them have, not yet, but Lychee assure me that they will, and moreover, they're committing themselves to expanding what's already here and providing a truly convenient feature to those customers that elect to pay for it. Now, we have established that it's a bit sparse at the moment, but again, Lychee assure me that this will change. Up until now, creators have been handpicked to weed out talentless riffraff like me, but I understand as appropriate platforms are developed, more creators will be able to import their work, providing it is sound and pre-supported, of course. It will still be checked over by the Lychee staff, so I would imagine that it won't be a fast process, but the option will be there. Whether this will ever extend to the average creator like myself, I really don't know as yet. But given the need to check everything, I can't see that happening very soon. So what do I think of the Lychee library? I think it's a great idea. I think there's some nice models here, and I can imagine over time that this will develop into a much larger collection by talented creators. I think the fact that everything is, or soon will be, checked over to make sure that it's correctly pre-supported and able to print is a fabulous idea, And I also love the fact that users will still be able to modify any supports or settings as the need arises. What I'm not sure about, however, is why Lychee have actually done this. If you're asking me, will this library bring in new customers for Lychee? I'm not sure it will. I think it's a great feature for existing customers, but I'm not certain this library will convince, for example, a G2Box Pro user to scrap his subscription with them and move over to Lychee. To achieve that, Lychee needs to rely on its slicing abilities, which okay, I personally like a lot, but I understand not everyone does. I think Lychee have made a mistake in not opening this facility to all their users. I think everyone should have access to at least some of the models, even the free users. Lychee could just restrict access to certain models to paying members. I think by giving everyone a taste of the good things that are available, Lychee would be more likely to convert free users to paying users. But I could be wrong. What do you think? Should there be tiered access? Or are Lychee right in saying paying customers only? Would this feature alone make you more likely to switch over from another slicer? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As someone who does have access to this library, I can admit that I like it. Certainly, I think you'll be seeing me use it in future videos. And I have a feeling that Lychee will be working hard on this feature to make it better and better as time goes on. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you found it interesting. Please like and subscribe, and do chip in with your thoughts and comments below. So take care, guys, and thanks for watching.